Welcome back, everybody, to the Crazy Sasquatch football picks and overall players show. Today, we're going to do defenses. We've done quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, the last big position. If you have them, I know some fantasy teams do not have defenses. We're in a dynasty league on the internet. There's no defense on that, but I know a lot of teams. Where I work and stuff, we do have a defense. The defense to me is kind of like a tight end or a kicker. You don't want to draft them too soon, but you want a player or a team in that spot, kind of like a tight end or a kicker, as well as your defense, that can get you some points. There's been too many games I've lost by 5 or 10 points. Well, you get a kickoff return for a touchdown. There's 6. You got an interception or a fumble. There's a couple points here and there. They add up to help you win close games, guys. So, don't just blow off kickers or tight ends or defenses. Try to get you a top 5. I know a lot of the top 1 or 2 tight ends like Kittle or Kelsey. I mean, they'll go in the top 3 or 4 rounds because they know there's points there, like a wide receiver type points. Kickers kind of want a high scoring team there. Defenses, get you one that causes turnovers. There's your points. There's your fumbles, your sacks, your interceptions, a couple points apiece. A lot of time a turnover turn into a touchdown. There's 6 points. I like a team that has a good kickoff return or a punt return that's fast and speedy. I know the Bears back in, they had Devin Hester ran back kickoff in the Super Bowl, 6 points. If you got that chance of your special teams getting a touchdown, well, heck, guys, 6 points to 6 points, it adds up. And if you can go from 8 to 18 in your division to a 10 and 16, that might be you making the playoffs or not. So try to get you a good defense. So that's what we're going to do today, is trying to fill all those roster spots with somebody who can get you some points each week. I know tight ends is kind of hard once the first 4 or 5 are gone, but still try to get you a receiving tight end. Kickers, same thing. Try to get you one on a high scoring team. Defenses, there's another one that try to get you a defense that causes turnovers or can run the ball back. We're saying that one honor we got this week, guys. We've been doing last year we did a little bit with fantasy picks weekly. This year we started a little bit beginning of the middle of the season here, doing picks and everything. Magazine just came out, and our The Crazy Sasquatch got put in this magazine. 2-page article, guys, of how we pick our teams. Kind of what I was saying about kickers and defenses and how I pick them. Just kind of my strategy of how I do it. The magazine, it's a kind of a guy's magazine that has from cars, the wrestlers, to how a lot of entrepreneurs on it, guys. It's called Rockstar's Dream. This one has Robert Downey Jr. in it. About 4th of July, what it's all about. So we were honored to be chosen to put in this magazine with our football picks, guys. So I can put the description or the website in the description in the comments. So if you guys want to order this and see how we do our picks, I said it's 2 pages of how I pick a quarterback, how I pick a running back. I said 2-page article of how I've done it and how I've won leagues and divisions by picking my guys. So saying that, we'll show you how we pick our defenses. Defense is kind of a little more difficult because instead of just saying quarterback Patrick Mahomes, you can talk about Mahomes and his team. A defense, you got multiple guys on this team, but unlike a single player, Mahomes gets hurt, no points. You got a defense, one guy gets hurt, you still got the other guys to pick him up, and you get the rest of the team to get you points. So defense is a little harder. Plus, like I said, you got a multitude of players. Like this year, you got some guys that are opting out. New England's defense is kind of decimated with guys opting out of the season because of COVID-19, but it's what it is. Give some secondary players a chance to show what they can do and prove themselves, and who knows you give a player an opportunity, who knows what he can do. So, by guys opting out, another guy's going to step in there and hopefully have a heck of a season, and who knows what that's going to do for his career. So, saying that, I said defenses are a little more difficult to talk about because you're talking about multiple guys and sometimes the strength of their schedule if they're going against high-powered offenses. But championships are won with defenses. That's always what they say. Championships are won with defenses. If you can have a defense that gets you some points, and in the real league, stop the offense. That's what you need. So I'm going to go over the defenses I had that just missed my top 10 list, and then Brett can go over his, just missed his top 10, and we'll go over our top 10 defenses for the 2020 season. So, ones I had just missed, Kansas City. I know they've done a little tweaking with their defenses, but I can't get them a top 10. Vikings, they're gonna have a tough defense again this year, but they lost Griffin, they lost some players via free agency. I can't put them in the top 10 either. Titans, another one's got a tough defense, not quite top 10. Buccaneers, heck of a front line, guys. Very heck of a front line with Tom Brady going to be there, managing the clock a little bit more. Their defense is going to be a little bit better. What worries me is their secondary. I don't know if they can stop the pass. They can stop the run. They did last year. The passing, you might have some high-scoring games there. So I think the Bucs, because of their secondary, I can't put them in the top 10. And Patriots just lost, one of the top defenses last year. You said too many guys opting out for this season because of COVID-19. I can't see them having a top 10 defense because of what's happening here. Brett, what's your guys that didn't make the top 10 list?
So my just missed list is the Titans, Broncos, Raiders, and Cowboys. I just think they are very good defenses, but I do think there's just in my top 10 better defenses. I just think they're slightly better. I did switch the Cowboys in the just missed list. They were actually in my top 10, but I switched them with someone that was in my just missed list. So one person from that list switched with the 10th spot. So that's really all I have to say about that. They're slightly better defenses.
Okay, getting to my number 10. My number 10 spot, guys. They've added some players. They added DeForest Buckner, Xavier Rhodes. That's the Indianapolis Colts. They had a pretty good defense last year. They had a couple rookies that really stood out. This is going to be their second year. And then adding these veterans on the Indianapolis Colts team. Veteran Philip Rivers, hopefully if he can manage the game and not keep the defense on the field all the times. I think they got a good offense where it's going to be a nice mix of giving the defense a break. I think the Indianapolis Colts defense is going to have a decent year. Didn't have a lot of turnovers last year, but you had a few key veteran players. Who knows? So number 10 on my list is the Colts.
So, for my 10 spot, I do have the Packers. I switched them with the Cowboys. They were my 11th best, but I switched them with the Cowboys, but I do think they have a better defense than the Cowboys. They have a top 5 safety. They have good offensive line, defensive line. They just re-signed, I think, Kenny Clark. I'm not sure about that, but they did re-sign a very good defensive lineman. They did get rid of some of their players from last year, so their defense did get slightly worse from last year, but I do think they just sneak into the top 10.
Number 9, they had a top 12 defense last year, but they added somebody that I think could be a little bit of a game changer. That is the Seattle Seahawks. Added Jamal Adams from the Jets here not a couple weeks ago here. So I think that's going to give the Seattle Seahawks a little bit of a boost in their defensive now. I know Javon Clowney, there's still talks here and there. I don't think they're going to sign him in the next 3 weeks before season starts, guys. I really don't. If they do, that top 9 ranking, I'm going to give Seattle. May go up, but with the signing of Jamal Adams, I give him number 9.
I'm actually going to do something. Move the Packers up a bit, and for my actual 10th spot, I'm putting the Rams. I did have the Rams at 9th, but I'm switching those because I do think the Packers have a better defense than the Rams. The Rams' defense is good, but I still think they barely sweep in, and the Packers, I do think their defense, the Packers' defense is better, but I'm going to switch these two around, and I have the Rams 10th instead.
Okay, number 8, guys. Number 8. They added some decent rookies this year, bringing back a lot of veterans, added some via free agency. Some of the guys they have on the team are for I'll say the team, the Chargers. I keep wanting to say San Diego. It's the LA Chargers now. Sorry, guys. LA Chargers. They got Bosa when he's healthy. He's one of the better players out there. Hayward, Darren Jones, King, plus what they signed with rookies this year. I'm giving, I about said it again, San Diego. I'm giving the Chargers my number 8.
For my number 8, I have the Browns. Their team overall is probably one of the most complete teams, probably one of the best teams. They just have very poor coaching and very poor quarterback play, but they did get, I think, the Vikings offensive coordinator from last year, so I'm not sure if their defense is going to improve, but their offense will. But their defense is, in my opinion, better than the Packers and Rams. They just need to come together and get good coaching, but if their coaching is like last year, the year before that, the Browns don't make my top 10 or at most 10th, but they do have good coaching or average coaching there.
Okay, my number 7. My number 7, team kind of had their ups and downs last year, but with Wade Phillips as their defensive coordinator, with Aaron Donald healthy, they got Jalen Ramsey over. This team can make plays, can stop some teams. I said they had kind of hiccups here and there. I mean, Clay Matthews, they had some other guys that got away from them this year, but older veterans. We'll see how much that changes this defense. I still have the Rams as my number 7 pick.
For my number 7, I have the Saints. I mean, their defense is going to look way better than it probably actually is because their offense is probably the best offense. They're probably going to be the best offense, but their offense is going to make their defense look better, but they do have a very good defense in total. And I do think they have better defense than these 3.
My next one's kind of this one could drop a little bit. They signed a couple key defensive guys in the offseason. They got Marshall Lattimore on their team. I see this defense, if the offense can keep them off the field, which like Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints guys, the offense is going to be moving the ball, keep these defensive guys fresh. Some decent names on this defense. I think the Saints are going to have a pretty decent year on defense, guys. So I'm giving Saints my number 6 pick.
For my number 6, I have the Eagles. Their defensive line, I think it was like the top 3 last year in rushing, but I do think they have an overall good defense. I do think it's better than the Saints. I think it's better than the Browns, Packers, Rams. I mean, in total they have a very good defense. I'm probably going to say that a lot for my top 5 list because most of the teams in my top 5 have the exact same traits. But I do think the Eagles are better than these, and they're in my 6th spot.
Number 5, Brett may disagree with me being a Bears fan, sorry guys, but number 5 is the Bears. The only reason I rank them this low right now is because they got a lot of young rookies. I think it's going to make some playmaking abilities, but they need a little bit of experience, and without any preseason games, they're not going to have a whole lot. But they signed some decent rookies this year, or drafted a few decent rookies that I think if they're not playing right off the bat, they're going to be in that defense pretty quick. Akeem Hicks is going to be coming back healthy the way it sounds. They signed Robert Quinn, to help out Mack on the other side. Yeah, they lost a few players, Kowalski, Leonard Floyd. I think Quinn's going to make it more for Floyd than what you think. Hopefully, Roquan Smith and Trevathan can stay healthy, and they don't need Kowalski like they did last year to come in and fill out those games if somebody's hurt. But I think they have some movement there. I think the Bears defense The only reason I rank them this low because some of the teams they play, there's some playmakers on some of these teams they're going to come up against in the season. But at any rate, I think the Bears made some good moves. We got some rookies are going to be coming up, and this defense is going to be growing and becoming better as a unit as they play. But right now, they're number 5.
For my number 5, I have the Ravens. They probably have the best. I'm not sure if he's a safety or a free safety, but they do have him as the best in the whole NFL. So they have the best. I think he's a free safety in the league. Their defense is overall good, like the Saints. Their offense is going to make their defense look 2 times better, but I do think the Ravens, they're going to have rest since they have Lamar Jackson. Because he's going to run a lot, run out the clock, so they're going to be not tired for the first 3 quarters, in my opinion, or that's my predictions. So I do think they are better than these teams. Maybe the Eagles will overpass them, but that's the only team I can see them overpassing are from these 6 teams. These 5 teams.
Okay, my number 4, pretty much 1 through 4 guys could bounce around. The reason I have them like this is because I think strength of schedule is the reason I have these 1 through 4, and I said these could move around very fluid with a lot. These are 4 top defenses. And this one here I'm going to name next is the Steelers. They got a pretty tough schedule with the Ravens and some other good teams. This team can move up. They were first in sacks last year, so that's a big line. Cameron Hayward, Mickey Fitzpatrick, T.J. Watt, some very good players on the defensive side of this ball. With Roethlisberger coming back and keeping that, maybe keeping the defense off the field a little bit more to keep them fresher. This could be a number 1 or 2 unit. I got them 4 right now, but we'll see what happens as this team comes together. Very potent defense, guys. This is one I would pick if they're available in the in your draft, right there with the Ravens and some of these other teams I'm going to mention. Pittsburgh's going to be tough, but I said their schedule is a little rougher than a couple of these, and that's the reason they're number 4.
I also have the Steelers at number 4. They're an overall good team. I do think they're better than everyone below them. The Eagles could beat them out like that. I'm probably gonna say that like maybe once, or at most once again for these top 3. But Eagles, they could either be 4 or 6. They can be anywhere between. But the only team I can see switching with them is the Eagles or Ravens. For 4, Steelers, they are very good overall defense. Like I said, I'm going to say that a lot, but they have a very good overall team. They have a lot of playmakers, and I do think they are in the top 5.
All right, my number 3. I said this one could switch around. This one is, they had a very good year last year. A lot of, I guess I can't say no names, but not a lot of big no names on this defense. But their schedule, guys, they're playing the Dolphins twice, they're playing the Jets twice. These guys having a good defense, playing some weak teams. I think the Buffalo Bills are going to have a very good defensive team and put some numbers on the board this year for your fantasy league or just overall as a good team, in the pros this year. Don't count out the Buffalo Bills, guys, with their schedule they have.
For my number 3, I have the 49ers. I do think they're better than everyone below them. They can't switch any place below any of these teams. I do think they're top 3 defense. They probably, in my opinion, have the best cornerback in the league in Sherman. Their defense in total is just very good. They got to the Super Bowl because of their defense, and I think they deserve a top 3 spot, and they are better than everyone below them in the list.
Number 2, guys. Number 2 is because scheduling plus their offense stays on the field a lot. So the defense don't get a lot of a chance to do a whole lot because their offense is out there literally running around a lot. And that's when I say running around between running backs and quarterbacks, the defense don't have as much chance. they weren't even in the top half of the league in sacks last year. So, they're not breaking through that line a whole lot, causing a lot of disturbance. But they still got a top defense. I said this one, strength of schedule. These guys can move around with the Steelers and the Bills pretty easily. If Steelers can move up or whatever else, but I do have them right now. Right now, I got the Baltimore Ravens number 2.
For my number 2, I have the Seahawks. They have the best safety in the league in Jamal Adams. They have the best middle linebacker in the league since Luke Kuechly's not in, and Bobby Wagner. So they have 2 players on their defense which are best at their position in the NFL, and they're number 2 overall. Other than their top 2 defensive players in Jamal Adams and Bobby Wagner, which are the best at their position in the NFL, they have a pretty solid team all around them. Also, defensive line is very good. Their middle linebacker is good for safety. Overall, they're a good defense. I do think they're better than everyone around them. Maybe you could switch them with the 49ers, but since they have 2 of the best people at their positions on their defense, I do think they have the second best.
All right, my number 1 defense had 48. I believe it was 48 sacks last year, 12 interceptions. Some veterans on their team with Sherman, Bosa. They're also bringing some rookies in this year, Javon Kinklaw. So I think this team could boost her up with the offense they have. I think the 49ers could have the top defense this year if everybody stays healthy. The rookies they drafted, good. Who they brought onto the team. Like I said before, number 1 through 4 could, even 5. The Bears could be a surprising unit. That unit comes together. I would even say the top 5 here could be very, very fluid. They can move around a lot. If any of these are available, grab them in your league before they get picked up. 49ers are one reason I got them at number 1. Out of 10 games last year, they had over 10 fantasy league points. So you get 10 fantasy league points out of your defense, guys. That's pretty dang good. That's like your running back getting 100 yards rushing if you're going 1 point for every 10 yards. So that's pretty good. So the reason I ranked them at where I did is because their turnover ratio with interceptions, sacking the quarterback, usually that's worth a couple points. And if they can score 10 points per fantasy league, for 10 games, that's pretty good too. So, but I said these could change. But as starting the season, here's my top 10.
My best defense in the league right now is the Bears, and everyone probably watching this is saying all this because you're a Bears fan, but I'm gonna explain more on the Bears than any other team because I know the best about the Bears. So because I have the Bears at number 1, I'm just gonna say the best players on their defense are the best in total. So in my opinion, they have the best middle linebacker core in the league with Roquan Smith, Danny Trevathan, Khalil Mack, and Robert Quinn. Those are definitely the best linebacker cores in the league. And there's cornerbacks, that's their weak spot in their defense, but they have a top 10 corner in Fuller. They have an upcoming rookie, some veterans on their corners. A free safety that's second or third in my opinion. It's an Eddie Jackson. He is second in my opinion. He did play out of position. He did play out of position last year, so his stats were going down. He was playing safety. From last year to this year, they did lose their safety. They did lose a backup middle linebacker, which is better than one of their starting middle linebackers. But
you picked up Gibson from Houston.
I know.
Okay.
But they picked up Gibson, a top 10 safety in the league. I think he is better than they dropped this year. So, and Akeem Hicks on their defense. He absorbed a lot of double teams for Khalil Mack to get big plays like they did in 2018 or 2018. But 2019, Khalil Mack got triple teamed, got double teamed, and he couldn't break through the line.
Sorry, fan's a little high, guys. It's warm out today, so. Good.
So.
Through.
Oh. So I think Akeem Hicks got his knee injured, but for the whole league, I think he played 2 games or 3 games. But if any team lost their best defensive lineman in the league and their best player got triple teamed for the whole year, their defense is going to regress, playing out of positions, getting a lot of injuries. They beat the Vikings with no Roquan Smith, no Akeem Hicks. So last year they did have a top 10 defense, even though a lot of people were injured, a lot of people were playing out of position. This year they got Robert Quinn, which I think he had 11.5 sacks last year, leading the league in Dallas in sacks. Bringing him along, bringing Gibson along, which kept the Texans' playoff hopes alive. I do think they'll come together this year if Akeem Hicks is healthy. That's what I'm imagining for every team. Every team gets healthy throughout the year, pure skill-wise. If the Bears are healthy through the year, there's no doubt in my mind that they're best.
And that's one reason I said that when I said top 4, I went to my top 5. Think about the guys who were hurt on the Bears last year. Think about the offense couldn't stay on the field to keep these guys fresh. I mean, the offense was 3 and out, 4 and out a lot. I think between Foles and Trubisky, whoever wins that quarterback competition there, with the offense they have, if they can keep the offense on the field, keep the defense fresher. The rookie I really like is Jalen Johnson they picked up, cornerback. They're saying some big things about him already out of camp. He's doing good. They got very good secondary. Some of the people they picked up, like Brett mentioned, out of free agency. Some of the rookies they picked up. And on the front line, picking up some guys. Eddie Goldman opting out via COVID-19 may hurt a little bit. I think they have guys that can fill those shoes pretty good, maybe not as well, but I don't see too much of a hindrance there. Yeah, you lose any big name guy like that, it's going to hurt a little bit. But Bears could be a surprise team. A lot of people are talking them down because they're basing it on last year. You had too many guys, like Brett was saying. Roquan Smith was out a few games. Hicks was out injured. Their best player, Mack, was getting double, triple teamed. Their secondary is playing out of position. You get everybody back in their correct positions and doing some one-on-ones and one-on-twos where these front line can break loose and go after your quarterback. I think Detroit, Vikings, Packers, I kind of feel bad for your guys' quarterbacks this year. They're going to have to be getting the ball out pretty quick, or you're going to have somebody in your face. Either it's going to be Mack coming out on one side, or Roquan Smith coming in a blitz down the center.
Robert Quinn, Akeem Hicks.
Yeah, Hicks, Quinn coming out on the other side. And if you throw the ball away too quick, you got that secondary with some proven guys in Fuller, and I just think the Bears could have a very dominant year if they keep everybody healthy. And like I said, I think if Jalen Johnson comes up, you had him with Gibson, Fuller. Who am I missing in the backfield? Eddie Jackson. That could be pretty potent, guys. And you put Roquan Smith and Trevathan right in front of them, and that line of Mack, Quinn, Hicks. When you can name everybody off a defensive team, I mean, yeah, we're Brett's a Bears fan, so we talk Bears a lot. When I can talk about potential Pro Bowl players on every one of them I say, that's a scary defense, guys. So I said the Bears, I put them at 5th right now because some of the scheduling. But if their offense can move the ball around and these guys can stay fresh and healthy, up the chart they go, guys. So with that, anything else to say about our top 10 defenses? Mm-hmm. With that, I hope you liked our top 10 defensive picks. Subscribe, like our channel. Like I said, we're actually in a magazine this month, guys. So we must know what we're talking about a little bit, or somebody thinks we do when we're, got a 2-page article. And it's a nice written article, guys. Like I said, I go through each position from quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends, kickers, defenses. Like I said, it is written by us, the Crazy Sasquatch. So pick it up, learn our secrets, or watch our channel and learn our secrets here too, guys. So with that, we may do some more just one-on-one teams. Brett's been wanting to talk about the Bears a little bit more because he knows about them. There's some quarterback competition, I should say. That I hear they're getting along pretty well. We may talk about the Packers a little bit. We may do some teams between now and the next 2-3 weeks before season starts. I know there's a lot of word coming out of camp about different players making it and some getting cut and some doing well. So each day, as training camp happens, I guess today or yesterday they actually put some pads on. So the players are starting to play, starting to get some contact. We'll see how things go, but it might be a good time to start doing a team on team and just have an episode about a team and see what people think about it. So otherwise, let us know if you want to hear about a certain position or anything. We'll talk any type of fantasy football or just overall NFL football talk. Subscribe to our channel. We try to put out at least a couple videos a week. Brett has his own channel. I'll put a link to that in the comments too. So when he has time, he does one-on-ones talking about some teams.
Only in the NFC North, because I know most about them.
Yeah, so he did, rising or falling. What was your over underrated? He does.
It's like a series or players. Right now, I already did quarterbacks. I did both quarterbacks for the Bears since they're either of them is going to be starters, but I'm only doing starting quarterbacks. I did that already. I'm doing running backs. I did David Montgomery, Aaron Jones, and I just did Dalvin Cook yesterday. So soon I'll do the Lions running back and maybe I'll switch to wide receivers or something else.
Yeah, so I'll put a link to his YouTube channel and this link and in this comments on this link on this channel, so you can listen to him too. But yeah, comment, guys. Let us know what you think. We're doing a good job. Like I said, I don't go there and edit this. I don't chop out that, chop out this. We do one run here. Whatever hiccups we have, we have. We kind of do a little research before. We get a couple magazines laying in front of us. We do some reading. This if I want to know a quick stat real quick. I don't memorize every team stats. So when Brett's talking, sometimes I'll look up. Okay, they had 48 sacks last year, but we kind of do some diligence behind our research. But at the same token, when we come on here, we might as well be live because we don't edit it. We just go with it, have fun with it. So comment, let us know what you think. Share our videos with other guys, fantasy league guys, and if nothing else, have a great fantasy league year. I think NFL will have a season. Major League Baseball, NBA is both having their seasons. They have some hiccups, but they're working their way through it. I think the NFL is going to learn in the next 3 or 4 weeks how these other pro teams are doing it, and I think they're going to move forward and have a fun season. And go fantasy league, go NFL, and here's to a great football season, 2020 season. And watch for some more episodes. We'll keep some more coming at you guys. Thanks for watching.